is the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Kingwell and Krissy Vann. That's me. And we're taking you on a little off-roading.
And every single week, we're going to be joined by our dope friend, Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Woo! Hey, I floss.
And every week, we are going to ask each other stupid questions, and we're going to answer them. And why, you may ask? Because we can. All right, this is your Motovation
Off-road edition.
All right, so the weird thing as a kid that you did, like a weird routine or just something super bizarre that you look back and you're like, yeah, that was super, super weird that I did as a kid.
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many that come to mind, right?
What's one of your favorite? What's one of the ones that will make us go, oh, kidoki. Wow.
As a kid. Okay. I used to do this thing. I feel like everybody does it though. As a little kid, I used to love puppy breath.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No,
I don't think a thing. Keep
not
going.
ringing a bell.
Keep going though. We're going to dive deep in here.
Yeah, this is like, okay, somebody will relate to this. I know they will. Puppies it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like craving a baby head or anything like that. I know that babies have a scent too, but puppy breath is like it's the sweetest little, most innocent little puppy mouth breath. It's like, it's addicting. And as a little kid, if I saw a puppy, man, I would chase that thing down and I'd be like, ma'am, sir, human, do you mind if I just get a sniff of that puppy's mouth? Okay. I need to smell his breath. I don't know.
What did the adult do? Yeah. When the adult was like, okay. And then what was their response when you got down low, real low, because it's a puppy, and you put your face up to the puppy's face and huffed it in? Were they just like, oh.
You know what? It was because you're a kid. And so usually I'd pick them up and they'd smell and we'd be kids together. And it was just the cutest thing ever. So they would be like, oh my gosh, it's so adorable. And I'd just be, but I honestly, between everybody on this podcast, I still do it. I still smell puppy breath and I love it.
It started so weird, but then you made it cute. Then it felt a little weird again. I can't decide.
I now need to find a puppy to smell the puppy breath, because as you said it, I thought I've never gone down that. I haven't been around a lot of puppies. I always get them more when they're boring and mid-sized. Not boring. I love dogs, but not cute puppies. And our dog's breath, I was picturing our dog's breath. Our dog's breath make your toes curl. It burns my eyebrows. It makes me puke in my mouth a little sometimes. And so I was like, what? And then I'm like, puppy breath. I have not smelled puppy breath.
It's crazy. It'll blow your mind. Give it a sniff. Go to the nearest SPCA.
World wonders right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm just here for a quick puppy breath.
To puppy breath. It's the only cologne I wear.
Okay. I like this one. That was a good one.
Thank you.
What about you? Thank you.
So you started cute and weird, and I feel like this is going to just make me sound like the disturbed child. But I used to take scissors, and obviously I was a kid. I didn't have giant scissors. My parents weren't totally irresponsible, but I would take the tiny scissors that you'd get out of a manicure set, and I would cut my hair and then hide it.
Oh yeah, that was
all
a big kid thing. That's a kid thing. Just it makes you feel better.
No,
they cut their hair often because the parents come to me and they're like, and they would be like, hey, so she got into the scissors and she cut her hair off. So she's got some jacked up hair, or like, and it's,
but were they proud?
Common.
I would closet cut. So I would strategically take pieces to be like, they'll never know. And then instead of deciding to put it in the garbage, I'd be like, behind this curtain looks great.
Mine was the end table. Yes. I hid mine under the end table by the sofa. Mom thought I had a disease because it was falling out at parts. And then she found my clump. Isn't that weird that you do that?
So weird.
Is this a lady thing? I feel like I'm not a woman, ladies. I don't know.
Because you didn't cut your hair as a child? That's what's femininity.
I'm over there smelling puppy breath and you guys are over there chopping hairdos.
The breath kept you joyful. I was like the quiet kid in the corner, cut a little chunk.
Just Edward Scissorhands under the table. I should have been puppy breath smelling it up.
That's wild. I've never done that. Although I remember you always see TikTok videos of kids like chopping their hair. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
they come in, they're like, did you cut your hair? And they've got this jacked up hair and they're like, no. Their parents like, you sure? And I go, no. They're missing half of their hair on one side of their head. What
You
happened to your
gotta know how
head?
it happened.
Nothing.
So Laurie, what'd you do?
Oh, well, these are the ones that you're like, do or don't I say these things out loud? Because this ran
Always do.
Always do. Well, if you know me, I usually ventured to why not? You know what? Why not? This one got weirder as the years went on. And this was this went into like young teenagehood. Like I think I was probably 13 before I have my last memory. So I had a little bit of OCD and I couldn't poop if there was noise. So I would wait till like it was quiet to poop as a kid. Well, first I would poop like once a week just to avoid it at all costs. Then it got to I needed quiet. And then it kept getting more and more intense. I needed it dark in the bathroom, but I was scared of the dark. So I would put a towel over my eyes to poop. And then, but also silent. So the towel worked double time. I could cover my eyes and then I would plug my ears with the same towel. And then it got to where I was sensorial and I was like, oh yeah, Richelle's face is showing why I should never told this story in the first place. But here we are. Then it got to where I was like, oh, I can't go to the washroom. It's too chilly in here. It's too chilly in here. So then I would put a towel on my feet to try and normalize my body temperature. But this took a long time and it felt like it was a whole ordeal and I would get tired on the toilet. So then I decided, and then when you sit backwards, it's not as comfortable. So then I would put a towel between the back, try it. It's actually quite comfortable between the back of the seat and the back of the thing. So it would prop the seat up. So it would, or the toilet lid. So it would hold my back. This was a thing. And I knew it was weird and I knew no one else did it, but I also was never like, you should probably get professional help around this. Like this is a concern on so many levels. This was years, you guys, where it just slowly was like, well, maybe if I try this, oh, that kind of worked until it didn't. And then I had to be like, well, maybe I'll try this because I had such a phobia around pooping.
Now I know why you'll only go with the bidet. That's not so weird.
And to this day, I have to have the cleanest poops you could possibly have because the idea of pooping grossed me out so much as a kid that I went to such extremes. I couldn't relax into it because I was like, if they say it's a normal human function, doesn't feel so normal. And the weird thing is, this is the craziest part about it, is that I work with early childhood, right? So I've worked in toddler rooms, baby rooms. I can clean a poopy diaper faster than anybody. And it doesn't even bother me a little bit. Not even a little bit. How bizarre.
Richelle's face.
Yeah, Richelle, take it in. What's your thoughts on this, Richelle? You got something to see it?
The introduction, I was shocked that it ended up being about a poo. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know it was going to be a poop situation. I feel for you. I really do. I poop everywhere.
I'm good now.
All the time.
Oh, you poop. Yeah, she's like,
I've never even had a bidet. I've never even bideted myself.
It changes your life. Number one. Yeah, it changes your life. You feel dirty anytime you go to anyone else's. There's no issue now. I'm good to go. I'm like the solid human that's like once a day or no pun intended. But yeah. Oh no, like half my life was like just trying to figure out how to, And
poor thing.
Yeah.
With the towel. What if no towels were there? What if the towels they had didn't smell nice? Did you bring your own towels?
Oh, my mom was my mom.
Stool?
Yeah, no, but they didn't exist. Poop stools that would help. My mom was like the mom that always had clean towels, and there was always like 7,000 fluffy ones waiting in the cupboard. So it never even occurred to me of like, what if there wasn't one? Because there was always one. It probably would have helped if there wasn't one of my. Well, probably not, because I probably would have gone a month without pooping. Like when we go on holidays, it was done for. It was like, well, she'll need a doctor. Because
Like when I
She's not
camp.
in, yeah. Oh,
yeah, for sure. That's what I was wondering. You're at like what Aunt Sylvia's and she's got like the little, weird towels and she smokes on Saturdays in the bathroom secretly. And like that, where do you, how do you poo?
You don't. I wouldn't. I would
Amazing.
just go. And I thought it was normal that people went once a week. Like when other, it was just like, I honestly thought there was something wrong with people that they were going that often. That said, I lived on like bread and cheese.
Right.
So my body was like, I couldn't if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the cheese.
There's nothing.
You
There's
look
no
great.
roughage happening. Yeah. Oh, thank you. My skin cleared up when I started pooping regularly.
Good. The poo schedule.
My.
Maybe it was those towels.
Oh, like it was just, it wasn't until, and you know what the funny thing is I completely, really, truly kind of forgot about this, even though it was such this like whole thing for so much of my childhood. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember what someone was talking about it, but it came back like a floodgate of memories. And as my now adult self was like, what the fuck? Like, where's like, how was that normal in my world? But you realize like how people get some crazy ass routines and habits. And I'm like, I could see how it escalates. I can see how it's a slippery slope.
It's a unique thing that you've gone through now. In case anybody has it in early childhood, you can be like, listen, I know.
You. Yeah, it's an
You
episode
have
on
like
TLC
you got
shows.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. This qualifies for
Love
sure.
it.
That was
Dr.
that was a long first question. Well done, us.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah.
Well done, poo.
Well done, Bill.
Oh, goodness. All right. If you were to pick one movie to be your life, what would it be and why?
Oh, it's a good one.
Oh,
One movie to be your life.
okay. So mine would be, when I heard this, I'm thinking, all these different movies. And I thought, how many times have I watched anime, like animated shows, and been like, oh, I wish that was like the real world, like the Grinch that stole Christmas. I wish I could go into that little world where like
Whoville,
like Whoville and live in Whoville.
This is meant for you, Laurie. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like the little girl.
Yeah. Yes. I'm just like, hi, buddy. And I would have one of those wacky doodle houses that's all like not straight and all, but cartoonish. And I just fit in the door and, oh yeah. And like, people are just like, hello.
This is where you belong.
I belong in Whoville.
Oh, it's so perfect.
So if a movie was my life where I could choose a movie, Whoville. Yeah. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
This.
Yeah, why not?
So this is what you want your life to actually be like. It's not what it actually is today. Or it's up for interpretation.
You know what? No, Vancouver is not similar to Whoville. It is very different. Very different.
I mean, you do really look like that girl. So I thought maybe you had a spicy childhood.
Cindy Lou
The poo
Who.
thing really threw me. Yeah, Cindy Louie.
Oh,
I love it.
so yeah, that's mine. Whoville.
I love that.
Richelle.
Oh, give me a second. I got two going on in my head here right now. Krissy, you do it first. You go first.
Mine's really easy because it's a no-brainer for me. Such a no-brainer. Harry Potter. And not for the reason that you think at first, but like, dudes, there's a magical motorcycle in Harry Potter. That means not only could you ride your motorcycle real fast and through shit and teleport, you can also fly it. So that seems like a quality type of life. I most definitely wouldn't be a muggle. I would be a wizard. And that seems pretty damn spectacular to me.
What is a muggle again?
Non-magical folk.
Non-magical folk. Not any of us. Not any of us.
Not any of us.
I like that. Harry Potter. That's a good one.
How are you going to follow this, Richelle?
I have no idea. It's such a it's so suspenseful. It's so hard,
Oh, suspenseful.
Like, I think I would want it to be like Mamma Mia. Is that weird? No, I don't. You know what I mean? Like
that I would have thought for Krissy. Okay, if I had to swap, I would think like Krissy, Mamma Mia, 100%, and I would have totally swapped you for you being Harry
Not
Potter,
that I'm like
for real.
spiced up over 3 dudes trying to find me or anything like that, but also yes, you know what I mean? Like I would be, yeah, sure. You live in Greece, you look like her. You got good looking kids. Everybody's having a time. They're always eating. You got your best friends. You got, I don't know. That sounds, there's donkeys and stuff. Yeah.
I get
that for the spice.
I haven't actually watched that movie. I got to watch it now to officially see where Richelle's
everything's a musical. It's
where
a
you're
musical,
teleporting to, or does that count? That's not real the world. So
both of those answers were so unexpected, and that makes me happy.
First, I was like Thelma and Louise. I was like, they die. They do. They kill people and they die. So
it's very stressful.
Let's go to Whoville. No.
You get, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, is it my turn? No, it's Richelle's turn.
Richelle?
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever hugged someone on a crosswalk? When you see it, you're like, I want that for me. It's never happened to me, not one time.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait, you just said, where you walked across and you said, what? I want that for me?
I've always wanted to run into somebody on a side, like it's like a crosswalk, when you're like at the intersection and people are always, and then sometimes you see the people meet and they're like, Freddie. And then they like hug each other because they're having a moment in the middle of the sidewalk in the crosswalk. Never happened to me. I always see it. No, it's never happened to me.
What do you mean you always see it? I've never saw it. That's a beautiful thing to witness. Do you live in a community? You must live in a community with
it's
a lot
Mamma
of crosswalks.
Mia. I don't know. It's Mamma Mia.
So maybe you do live in Mamma Mia. No,
look,
have you
over
ever
there.
seen that?
No, I know. Like, and it's funny when I was like, oh, I ever hugged one. I was like, honestly, what I envisioned is you hugging a complete stranger. Or like, have I ever just like embraced a stranger thinking like, and followed up with like, you look like you needed that. And then just continued in my direction
followed up with don't touch me.
Yeah.
Maybe not in current times. That would probably not fly on.
No, the only thing I could think of was like crosswalk. I was like, well, I've fallen hard on a crosswalk in front of cars. And I have told a girl, caught up to her, tapped her and been like, you may be doing this on purpose and you go, girl, if you are, but your dress is completely see-through from the back.
It's caught in your underwear.
Yeah. And it was just, she was just like, is that? She wasn't impressed with me and I was trying to help, but turns out she just wanted to not know. So those were
doesn't
the only
impress
things.
Me much.
It doesn't impress me much.
I've had somebody sort of like not hug me, but bear hug my body for a second. And it's because it was the only time I bailed on my Razor scooter was in a crosswalk and a 4-stop intersection. I hit a pothole, flew in, but people came running out of their cars. And I got a little like grab, like, y'all right there. It was when you could touch other people,
right.
Back in normal life. It was
you
really
with a
lovely.
stick.
But I was
right
so
there.
embarrassed. It was another example where it was like my knee skin's in my pants, but I'm just gonna get out of here before I analyze.
Those scooters you ride are a death trap. I just want to put that out
One
there.
incident in 4.5 years.
It's impressive. On a crosswalk. See, crosswalks, lots of things happen on a crosswalk. You never really know.
I'm going to start keeping my eye out a little harder on crosswalks. I'm going to start waiting for a moment, maybe encouraging it. Hey, that guy looks like he wants a hug just out my window. I'm like,
do you need a hug?
Yeah, tap that guy on the shoulder. He looks like he needs a hug.
The best part is when you guys see it now, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I've seen it. And now it's a bucket list thing. There it is.
You're going to immediately get a text message. I'll tell you what. When it does happen.
I love it.
When you're right, Richelle. You're right. All right.
Unless you're wrong.
Unless you're mostly wrong, though. That's the truth.
You just went off-roading with the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and myself, Krissy Vann.
And of course, a special thank you to Richelle from True Get Moto.
Whoop, boss it.
Never miss an episode by hitting like or subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotovation.com. And in the meantime, full tanks, full throttle.
I think this is good though. It's like healthy, like people will be like, oh my God, I don't floss.
Oh, it's going to be so hard not to laugh to get through this intro.